Shulchan Aruch Orach Chaim Siman Bet 2. Din libishat begadim, the law of wearing clothes. Ubo vav seifim, with 6 paragraphs. Aleph. Lo yilbash haluko miyushav, you shouldn't wear your garment, any garment, but even undergarment, while sitting. Ela yikach haluko v'yachnis bo rosho v'zorotav, you should take your cloak, shirt, and put your head in it and your hands in the sleeves, be'odenu shochev, while you're still lying down, meaning in the covers. V'nimsa kesheyakum shehu mechuseh, and it'll come out that when you get up out of the covers in the bed, they used to wear a long shirt that covered all the way down to the knees or under that, so it's like you were fully clothed that way. You just had to get your head and arms in, and then it would fall down as you got out of bed, and you wouldn't be ever without clothes on. Now it doesn't matter. Well, the next halacha explains. Bet al yomar hineni bechadre chadarim, I'm in the innermost room of my house, somewhere, meaning you're in your bed. Mi ro'ani, who's gonna see me, or who's seeing me? Ki HaKadosh Baruch Hu melo kol haaretz kevodo, Hashem's glory fills the whole world. So these halachot is really teaching us to always be aware that somebody's looking. There's no such thing as I'm alone, and we want to always think that. So it means when you're even getting out of bed, you shouldn't be in a way that you would be embarrassed from other people, meaning without any clothes on. So you shouldn't be found that way with Hashem looking also, even though there's nobody in the room. Some people, when they're getting dressed, they try and wear a robe, and then they try and put the undergarment, while being beneath the robe so it doesn't show. All different kinds of things people try and do. Now, of course, this does not apply in the bathroom or in the bathhouse or in the shower or anything like that, since that's a place where we do have no clothes on, so it's normal. The point is where it's not normal is where we shouldn't be found with it. This way we keep Hashem in the forefront of our mind always. Seif Gimel 3. Yidaktek bechaluko lilbosho kedarko. You should be careful to make sure to wear your clothes the right way. Shelo yehafoch hapinimi lachutz. Don't put the inner one outside, meaning inside out. We're not supposed to wear our clothes inside out, especially Talmid Chacham, because he represents Torah. And when you see all the weaving and that on the outside, and it looks like, funny. So they say, who's this religious guy? He's representing God in the Torah, and he wears his shirt like that. So it makes a chilul Hashem. Now, if a person wore it already upside down, if he's a Talmid Chacham, he's required to go in the bathroom and change it around. But if it's a regular guy, he doesn't have to change it. That's how they bring it, but you shouldn't do it. It's we all have to look nice and presentable as Jewish people to the world, because they're looking at us. And they judge Hashem in many ways by how we are and how we act and even how we look. Not that we care what other people think, but we do have to make the correct impression because we are the children of Hashem, and that is something we do have to be careful on. Really, all mankind is the children of God. We are just as Yaakov were the older brother for Esav, of course, because he lost the birthright. So as the older brother, Yaakov now, the Bechor, we have to set the example. That's the idea. As Hashem says, Beni Bechori Yisrael, we became and are the firstborn. Now, even an undergarment that's not seen shouldn't be upside down, inside out. And when you're praying, also you can't have it, because it's also not nice to appear in front of the king with clothes in that way. So it really applies to inner clothes, outer clothes, and really at all times. Seif Dalid 4. Yin'ol min al yamin techila velo yikshirenu. when you're putting your shoes on, you put the right shoe on first, like we're familiar with, hopefully, and you don't tie it. V'achar kach yinol shel simol, then you put on the left. V'yikshirenu, and then you tie it. The left you tie first, after you just put it on. V'yachzor v'yikshor shel yamin, and then you go back and tie the right one. Now the Rama and the Haggah, the note says, U'b'min'alim shelanu, in our shoes, she'en lahem kishira, there's no tie, like a loafer. Yinol shel yamin tichila, you just put the right on first, and then there's nothing else to do. So this is about the right and the left, which the right has to do with chesed, and the left has to do with justice and deen. We always want to do things that put the right ahead of the left, because the way we act down here, Hashem mirrors it upstairs in Shamayim. So if we do something that puts the right first, it means His chesed is going to work on us first. So there's a lot of ideas here that are spiritual. Even a plain halacha has its reasons embedded in the whole fabric of creation and how it was made. So we want to do the right first. Now, not only in shoes, also your sleeve, do the right first. Also in a shower, you do the right side first, or the right hand and then the left hand, and then you can go down to the stomach, etc. And the head first, they say, because the head is like the crown of the body. Now they say you see the right in the Torah many times, like in a guy with sarat, they would do things with the right toe and then the left. So you have different things as a source, and also to tie the left first is its own source. They say because the tefillin we tie and we do it from the left hand, because the left arm is where we're putting tefillin, and we tie it first. So all this has basis in it. Number 5, keshecholetz, when you're taking off the shoes, min alav, choletz shel semol tichila. So besides tying it with the left, when you're going to take off the shoes, it's another idea. You take off the left first, because this way the right is still wearing the shoe. That's the point. It's like you're giving more strength to the right. It's wearing the shoe first. In fact, you're higher with the shoe on. So the right is higher, and it's still going to be higher while the left shoe is off. So that's the order that you want to do it. Seif Vav 6, Asur lelech bekoma zekufa. You can't walk in a real upright type of a posture where it looks arrogant. Not upright. Obviously, we're not animals. We're upright, but not like stiff upright with your head up, really like that, like a soldier. In fact, the soldier training is a little bit with gava, because they're trying to show, we're the soldiers and that. So it's with that, you shouldn't walk around in an everyday. Velo yelech dalet amot begilui harosh, and you shouldn't go even dalet amot 4 to 6 feet without your head covered. This is the idea of the kippah or the yarmulke. So we do have it here in Shulchan Aruch, because we want to always show that there's someone on top of us, which is Hashem. When your head's uncovered, it's almost like you feel like a free-for-all, like you're in charge and you could do whatever you want. So that's why you have to have a head covering. V'yivdok nekabav, and a person should always check himself if he has to go to the restroom, because you shouldn't have it in you if it's not supposed to be there. It could also be unhealthy if you're holding it. And this is not even talking about for prayer. Even just when you're not praying, it shouldn't be there if you can get rid of it. It's very important, not just for health, but it's also, again, as being at Tselem Elokim, you shouldn't have that waste in you. You should always try and get it out, because it does refer to the Sitra Achra in a way. Now, this idea of the Gilui Rosh, well, let's just do the Ramah first. Haggah, v'chaseh kol gufo, he should cover his body, v'lo yelech yachef, and he shouldn't go barefoot. Meaning, you should always cover your body. You shouldn't have, unless, again, person's going swimming, and that's what we do. But otherwise, you don't just keep parts of your body open, even on top. So you have to also cover up. And don't go barefoot, of course, unless it's in like the Middle East and they go barefoot, if it's relative to the place that you're in. V'yargil asmo lefanot boker va'erev. A person should again try and use the restroom in the morning and the night, or whenever. Shehu zirizut v'nekiyut, because this is being zirizut. It says, alacrity and cleanliness, nikiyut. Doing things quickly, zirizut. We want to make sure that we're doing things in the right way and to be clean, of course, which is the main thing. Now, as far as prayer is concerned, for the head covering and for the restroom, basically, a person has to have his head covered to say berachot and to learn and to pray. Now, they say you should not use your hand to cover your head because you didn't gain anything. It's still your body. So nothing's on top of you and your body, so to speak. It's still you. So you need some covering. Now, you can put your hand on someone else's head because then it's not him. It's something else. So that works if need. And a person should make sure to try and use the restroom before he prays. Now, if he tries and he just can't, then it's okay. You've done your job. You don't have to stay in there. Rabbis always warn us, don't spend so much time in the restroom, and then, God forbid, even if you're going to miss parts of the prayer, even if you don't miss, you just don't have to sit there all day. Some people, they sit there a long time in the morning. It's not right. You try, and then if it doesn't happen, you're good to go. You can go pray. And if you have to find that you have to relieve yourself in the middle of the prayer, even in the middle of the Amidah, you have to do it. That's if it's really being urgent. So there's more rules on it. We're going to talk about it in different upcoming Simanim. And this is the end of this Siman.